Hello, here's my rant of the day. My rant of the day is against this attack on the poor. Here in Wisconsin, we have this thing called collective bargaining. Pretty much two sides sit down. If somebody says that's good, we'll go with the other side. Say I'm not feeling it. They'll go, okay, we'll figure something out. Our governor has come up with a way of pretty much saying that take it or leave it. And what, unfortunately, what Governor Walker has done, he's pretty much shot himself in the foot, because now this whole thing has gotten ugly. It's split the state in half. And what frustrates me about that is that instead of us realizing that, you know, collective bargaining will hurt us all, he's gotten his followers to drink the Kool-Aid and believe everything that he's told them, instead of them sitting down, getting the information on their own, reading about it, and getting information which make with something like too much sense. They listen to the politicians who tell them that the unions are destroying this country. They listen to Fox, they listen to Walker, they listen to Rush Limbaugh, listen to Glenn Beck, and they equate socialism with some kind of covert fifth column to destroy the great United States of America. That's not true. The unions and the middle class, the unions made the middle class made America. It wasn't somebody with mommy daddy's credit card. It wasn't the fact with the rich, somebody making $100 million a year. Yeah, they kind of contribute, but people who actually get up from 9 to 5 and work 9 to 5, 10 to 6, 11 to 7, whatever, they actually made the backbone of this country. They are the hands that made this country. But when I go online and when I listen to people on talk radio just ripping the average working man, I wonder, did they actually work for a living? Did their parents give them everything, or were they type of people who had the crab mentality? I'm going to work hard. I'm going to get mine. To hell with you. And what angers me, these are the same people that allowed George Bush to get us into 2 wars, to completely take a surplus and turn it into a deficit, made sure the rich got richer, the poor got poor, and the middle class got squeezed, that sat back and watched this come the most prosperous nation on earth to becoming nothing more than a joke. I mean, good grief, Slovenia has a better educational system than we do, but nobody cares as long as I get my money, as long as I stay rich, and as long as I keep American Idol on TV. That's all that matters. But I digress. I'm glad that we pretty much shut this down to a point. Right now, the judicial election is still up in the air. But win or lose, we let the people in power know that you cannot push us around. And I implore people who support Walker, who support this judge, to actually do something they probably haven't done before. Sit down, read a book, go online, learn what you can, instead of going up and drinking the Kool-Aid which everybody gave you. So that's what you need to do. Educate yourself. Okay, now enough of collective bargaining. I'm gonna move on to another issue. Another issue I'm going to talk about is that a couple of weeks ago, a gentleman came online with a bottle of tequila and just started ripping Middle Easterns, calling them diaper heads, calling them desert monkeys, calling them sand niggas. But what gets, and then I called him on it. Oh, that shows that you have no argument calling me a racist. I'm sorry. You know, if you make a racist comment, you're a racist. You can't try to say I was trying to open up a dialogue on the issues that's going on in the Middle East. That's like pouring syrup on crap and calling it pancakes. You can't do that. And he kept emailing me on Facebook trying to justify his position because he knew he was wrong. My thing is, if you got an issue with the Islamic culture, stick with the facts. Don't start making racist or ethnic slurs to try to get your point across. If you're not smart enough to do that, then you need to shut up and be quiet. And I mean, that's the bottom line. If you cannot have a simple, open, legitimate dialogue about a certain culture you disagree with, without calling them names, without making racist comments, and then wasting everybody's time trying to justify it, you really don't have much of a say. Pretty much like the young lady Alexandra who made a comment about the Asians. Now, some of y'all may have agreed with, and that's your opinion. And yeah, there are some issues. I'll be the first to admit I'm not perfect. I've been in a situation where certain cultures have been very insensitive, have been very demeaning. But you don't see me going on YouTube ripping into them because I know. I mean, what were you thinking? Well, then again, you were blind. Enough said. But I'm just amazed that how we were once the mightiest nation. We were up here, but thanks to Fox, And thanks to the internet to a point, not blaming the internet on everything, but because people refuse to read and think for themselves, we've gone from way up here to way down here. I mean, it's ridiculous. You know, even our college kids are getting dumber. You know, when you got kids in college who can't even show you where Iraq is on a map, what does that say about us? I mean, it's sad. When you have certain media groups that have more power than our politicians, more people get their information from Stephen Colbert, Jon Stewart, Megyn Kelly, Bill O'Reilly, Glenn Beck, Rush Limbaugh, up in Milwaukee, Charlie Sykes, and Sly. They ain't dissing Sly. Sly's my boy. But you know, when people don't want to read for themselves, but that's all the information they want to listen to, and they make their own decision, that shows that not only shows a lack of intelligence, that shows also a lack of initiative. Why should I get up and learn for myself? I'll let other people do the thinking for me, and that's not a good way to live. Okay, now moving on to my third rant. It's funny how people want to disguise their hatred. And I'm going to combine the first two rants into one. They want to disguise their disdain for the middle class and certain groups under the illusion of being patriotic or being extremely religious. You know, that's what the whole thing of what makes America great is that we can look at things that are wrong in this country and say this is wrong. And without fear of a government kicking our door, shooting us down. Well, at least not now anyway. But we can speak our mind without fear of repercussion from any groups. And yes, we need to speak up against the atrocities happening in Afghanistan and in Denmark with fundamentalist Islamic groups. And if you actually read about the Islamic group, the Sunni and the Shias they're killing each other, but the ones that really got this whole ball rolling about, you know, if you're not Islamic, you need to die, is a sect called the Wahhabi, if I'm pronouncing it right. They're the ones that hijacked the religion and started doing this. Okay, you know, it's okay to kill people who don't believe. Pretty much like the Wahhabi, to be blunt, it's like, and I don't know how to put this, so if I'm wrong, mistaken, forgive me. It's like their version of the Jesuits. They were just fanatics. And the same thing, you know, every group have their fanatics who believe that, you know, if you don't believe in God in a certain way, you need to die. The Protestants have it, the Calvinists had it, the Puritans had it, the Catholics had it, the Muslims have my brothers of the Jewish faith had it. That's the whole thing. It's not just set to one group. Every religious group has used their belief in a higher power to butcher other people. And when that happens, when you use religion to subjugate and destroy people, you pretty much bastardize the name religion and your religion. But that's the end of that. I'm gonna move on but getting back and finishing up about labor, about what's going on in labor up here in Wisconsin. It is within our Constitution for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Okay. With a good job, you can have a good life. With a good job, you can pretty much move wherever you want and do whatever you want. That's liberty. That's number two. And if you got enough money in your pocket, you don't have to worry too much about where you're gonna eat, where you're gonna sleep, how you're gonna get to work. That's the pursuit of happiness. That's three right there. Okay. I want everybody to follow Walker to watch. One, life. Pretty much, if you make enough money, you can stay healthy. You can stay healthy, get good health care. Liberty, you pretty much, if you don't like where you live, or if you don't like your job, you can pretty much move. You can pretty much get a better job or move somewhere else. Pursuit of happiness. If you ain't got to worry about that, you know, it's all good. But when I hear people attacking the labor, most people attack labor have no clue what they're talking about. They watch Fox News. They watch CNBC, they watch headline news, or they listen to Rush Limbaugh, Charlie Sykes, Vicky McKenna, people on up here in Wisconsin. I'm not gonna say nothing bad about them because of legal issues, but that's what they're doing. You don't get your information from anybody but them, and you need to educate yourself on what's going on. The bottom line is, with religion, labor, life, America, you need to educate yourself. Your lethal weapon is your mind. And you know what? Don't so when you do get into a debate about somebody, you're not just spitting out talking points. You at least have enough information for yourself, because you're thinking for yourself, to actually be able to hold your ground in any conversation. Because I've gotten into so many arguments with people who are supporting Walker, who support anti-collective bargaining, who support racist comments against Islam. And half the time I win the argument because I do my research, not spitting things out because I'm drunk or because I heard what somebody else said down the street. That's what you need to do about everything in life. Support the unions, because the unions made America. If you see somebody disrespecting another culture and they're just spewing off hatred comment, correct them on it. Don't just sit back and don't do nothing, because if they saying something nasty about them, you can bet they're saying something nasty about you. Thirdly, this country is destroying what made it great. Our diversity, our hard work, and our ability to agree to disagree. And until we get our head out of our behinds and realize that's what's bringing this nation down, we're gonna always be second rate. Because right now, we're no longer the most powerful nation on earth. We sold that off to China. I yield the floor.